What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Crafton, Florida. Today's project is a lot of fun for me. I grew up playing baseball, played all the way through college, really enjoyed it. Still love the game, watched on TV all the time, professional, college. Shoot, I'll watch Little League World Series. I just enjoy the game. So when a local high school reached out to me saying they needed to redo their baseball locker room, of course I'm going to jump at the chance to do that. When I was growing up playing in high school, our locker room was rough. Let's just say it like that. I mean, it got condemned like 2 years after I graduated. So we took the old lockers out, ripped all that up, cleaned it up. Some friends of mine did an epoxy floor in there. It looks real slick. And then I built custom lockers for all the players in there. White oak trim, painted school colors. Even did some coaches' lockers in there and special lockers for the catchers who need a little bit more space for all their gear. It's a really fun project. I'm going to show you in this video how I got it all done and show you the results. I mean, it's really, really cool. So check it out. All right, first thing we have to do is we got to take the plywood that we're going to use for the main carcass of these lockers and break it down. These lockers are going to end up at about 7 feet tall. So we're going to go ahead and chop all this plywood down to 7 feet. If you've bought plywood before, you know that the majority of the time it comes in 4x8 sheets. We're going to try to save that foot there on the end, and we'll use that for the shelves later in the project. Track saw is great for this. If you have a track saw, trust me, it is worth the money. I'm going to rip it down. These lockers are going to be a little shallower than ideal because of the space that we have to work with. So we're going to rip them down to 12 inches deep. It's enough space for the jerseys to sit in there. They only need to hold a few things, cleats, space for a bat bag, all that kind of stuff. And then we need some nailers for the tops and the bottoms of these lockers. They're going to get nailed screwed into the wall. We're going to have to tap on them because this is a cement wall. Best way to do this, we've got the pocket holes. We're going to pocket holes so we can just screw all that in the back, hide all the screw holes, and it'll be real simple. Right here, we're ripping down the shelves to width. There's going to be a shelf in each locker so that the kids can keep all their stuff up there, hats, their keys, phones, all that kind of jazz. So a whole bunch of shelves to rip down. Like I said, it's a super nice upgrade for them considering what they did have. You can see assembly of these lockers, pretty simple, pocket holes. I'm putting them together in groups because I have to get them from my shop to the locker room, and there's no way putting the entire thing together. Each row is going to have 7 lockers on it. It just wasn't going to fit in my trailer, so I did it in groups of 3, and that way I could easily transport them. But pretty simple. I went ahead and put that second nailer underneath where the shelf is going to go, and I found that that was good to not only support the shelf, but it made installing the shelf a lot easier because I could rest it right on that little nailer. I know exactly where we're going to be, so they're all level the entire way across. Then here I'm just screwing in from the top. Very simple, work from the top down, make sure that nobody's ever going to see these screws from the top because of how high it is. So we can just drive some screws in through the top, connect all the top portions of the lockers together. Very simple, easy construction, but it really is an upgrade for them. Next, we're installing those shelves. Like I said, I was able to glue and nail in some of the end shelves, and then there's always going to be one that required some angled screws. So I took some trim head screws pre-drilled at an angle from the front, and I was able to screw those in. So the glue will hold the nails, and the screws were just there really to help hold it all in place until the glue sets up. Here we're ripping down some of that white oak trim that I told you about. Tried to keep the trim pretty thin so that we didn't have a lot of wasted space, but it's a lot of white oak. Ripping it down to about an inch thick. Today's sponsor, Crafted in Florida. My website. Go to craftedinflorida.com, and what you'll find there is some detailed articles about these projects, how I made them. A few things that may not have been in the video are written out there, so you can figure out if you wanted to recreate these projects. I'm basically telling you how to do it. Not all the specific measurements, because you're going to want to build it to your space, right? But there is a lot of information on there. I also have t-shirts and stuff available if you want a lot of Florida themed merch, because crafted in Florida. I'm from Florida, born and raised. 100 years my family's been here, so we're real. We were here before air conditioning. You got to be pretty hard to show up in Florida before air conditioning. The other thing, you're going to want to be following that website, because very soon we're going to have some things that you can purchase on there, whether it's signs, cutting boards, serving trays, all sorts of little small projects that we'll be building with a new CNC that is on its way. Very, very soon we'll have a CNC set up. I'll be doing several videos about the process, how it works, showing you as I'm learning about it, because I don't have CNC experience. But hopefully you'll watch those videos along with me. We'll go through this process together, and you'll have the opportunity to purchase some of those things that we make on that CNC. So make sure you go to craftedinflorida.com, and you can see all that stuff there. And if you're local, or you have something that you want me to ship to you, build and ship to you, you can also do a request for an estimate right there. Free estimates, never charge for an estimate. Go to the website, check it out, and what you think. Alright, so one other thing that we're going to do along with these lockers is make a helmet rack. So we make sure that we measure this correctly, give ourselves enough space so that this will be able to slide in and out nice and easy. Kids won't have any problem banging it up against the sides. They beat their helmets up enough, so at least we'll give them a place to leave those stored nice and safe. So what we're doing here, I want to make sure that this helmet doesn't fall out after they put it in there. You want to make sure that it can lean forward and backward. So I take my two side pieces, I'm using a plunge router and a straight edge, and I'm just routing out a little dado for all the shelves to sit in. That'll help with construction, keeps them together a little bit better. We can throw some glue in there, a couple of nails to hold it in place, and it really it's a simple little helmet rack, but it's a place for the helmets to go, and at least you can tell them, hey, helmets go on the helmet rack. They should put them there, but they're high school kids, so we'll see how long that lasts. There's kind of the mocked up version of it. Pretty simple. Then it's time to add some paint. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.